Many countries have grappled with corruption and failed, or are failing at the moment. I hope they will succeed at some time. We have to grapple with corruption. We want to succeed. I keep telling our people, it's true that we're behind everybody else, but that means we can learn from the mistakes of everybody else. And in that way, we will avoid making these mistakes, and as our well-wishers keep saying, we can leapfrog and get to our goal quicker than we might otherwise have done if we had not been aware of the mistakes made by others. So, in this meeting, I would very much welcome suggestions from all or any of you. I don't think all, because I suppose there won't be time for everybody to make suggestions, as to how we can cope with the problems of a country which is yet still at a stage when we are working towards national reconciliation. You will have to accept that we have not yet achieved it. So we are trying to achieve national commitment to national reconciliation and development. So please, ideas, suggestions, practical ones, and please think of the opportunities that Burma is offering the world as opportunities for you as well as for us. I will take any questions that Professor Schwab and all of you may wish to put to me, but that is all I have to say. Please help us to meet our needs, and I think you will find it a very, very worthwhile thing to have done. Thank you. Many of our young people are already following the wrong path. They sit around at tea shops, but what is worse, some of them sit around at toddy palm shops. And you know what toddy palm is? It's our cheapest alcoholic drink. So, and some of them have taken to drugs, some of them have taken to gambling. If this goes on, we will not be able to reform them, let alone reform our country. So I keep saying, what I'm afraid of is not so much joblessness as hopelessness. If our young people start losing hope, we will have a big problem on our hands. As commitment to national goals, rather than to goals that are really for the sake of empowering any particular group or organization, I think we need to empower our people. This is one of our first national goals. Without the empowerment of the people, it's no use talking about democracy. We can talk about democratic reforms, but if we don't empower our people, if we work to increase their dependency on the powers that be, then we will not achieve our democratic goals. I've always insisted that rule of law was most important issue. And we've had to try to make people understand in Burma, I think in Burma rather than elsewhere, that by rule of law, we did not mean new laws. And by rule of law, we did not simply mean laws aimed at protecting the rights of political activists. Some people in Burma think that's what we're talking about when we talk about the rule of law. So I have to insist, ad nauseum actually, that there are many good laws already existing in Burma, but we do not have a clean and independent judicial system. And unless we have such a system, it is no use having the best laws in the world. So would-be investors in Burma, please be warned. Even the best investment law would be of no use whatsoever if there are no courts that are clean enough and independent enough to be able to administer those laws justly. This is our problem. And so far, we have not been aware of any reforms on the judicial front. We keep saying we need judicial reforms, but I have to confess that not many in the government seem to agree with this. They do not seem to think that there is a need for judicial reform, or perhaps they don't think there's an urgent need for judicial reform. But I consider the need to be very urgent indeed. Let us start with rule of law before we start studying what the new investment law is about.